Today I wanted to talk about fear of success and how that leads to self-sabotage. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dina Danielle. Be sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Let's get into it. Self-sabotage is often a manifestation of this fear of success. You may do this unconsciously, subconsciously. You're not even aware of why you are self-sabotaging, why you might be procrastinating, why you can't be consistent in things. I know I experienced this for sure. If you have an underlying fear of success, it's going to lead you to act in ways that are not beneficial and are not going to support your growth. For example, it might manifest as like I said, procrastinating, not being consistent. If you are uploading to YouTube and you really want to have YouTube be a consistent form of income and grow your channel, or a podcast, something like that, you need to be consistent. And so self-sabotage can look like procrastinating shooting your videos, procrastinating creating your content, procrastinating coming up with script ideas. It can also look like being inconsistent. It can mean maybe you're consistent for a month and then you take 2 weeks off, 6 months off here and there and get back to it, and you are really self-sabotaging because you may have this underlying fear of success. So why do you have this fear of success? If having a YouTube channel or just being really successful in what you're doing, I'm using YouTube as an example, having a YouTube channel, making that YouTube channel very successful, having it grow, growing a community of followers that are watching your videos, that communicate with you, that are interested in the same things as you, and then being able to also monetize that channel in different ways, whether that's brand partnerships, creating your own product line, your own courses, which a lot of people do. This could lead to a very different lifestyle than you currently have. And although you admire this lifestyle, this is really your goal. This is a big change to what you currently have. Maybe you are afraid of the change that would be impending if you have this success. So you have this fear of success because of the change, and therefore you self-sabotage. That is one of the reasons that people have fear of success, because being a successful person really does change your life. You may also be afraid of not only the lifestyle changes, but also what success may bring in terms of relationships. A lot of the time when you're successful, your relationships can change. People that are very wealthy really are blessed in one way, but it is also a burden. More money, more problems, because people are going to be attracted to you for the wrong reasons. People are interested in your success, in your wealth, and not necessarily who you are as a person. So fear of success can be the fear of how relationships would change once you become successful. Another reason that you may have fear of success is imposter syndrome. I know I have experienced this in the past, and imposter syndrome is really when you are in a position where you don't feel like you are qualified for, you don't feel like you have the knowledge for, and it is usually related to career and success in your career. Imposter syndrome is a chronic form of self-doubt for high achievers. And I don't think you necessarily need to be a super high achiever. I think imposter syndrome can happen at a mid-level or a high level, even when you get a new opportunity in a career position, if you're admitted to a school or a program that you were really excited about and is challenging to get into, or just something you have looked forward to for a long time, and you finally receive it, either the acknowledgement, the career advancement, the program, whatever it may be. Imposter syndrome can kind of plague you and make you think, I'm not meant to be here, I'm not good enough, and you start having all this self-doubt in your mind about your capabilities. The thing with self-doubt and imposter syndrome, it can really change how you view yourself. It's almost like people talk about body dysmorphia, but it's like having this dysmorphia of how of how knowledgeable you really are, of how successful you really are. Like, you are meant to be in this room, in this place, in this program. If you are accepted to it, if you get the opportunity, then that's meant for you. I think imposter syndrome is really linked to self-sabotage, because when you have imposter syndrome, you are really like, it can really sabotage the opportunities that are handed to you. Fear of failure is a big one for me specifically, because all I ever wanted in my 20s was to be successful. That was the most important thing to me. Successful in my career, successful as a photographer, successful as a blogger, successful as a YouTuber, successful as a designer. And as you get older, I think you come to realize that that's not the most important thing in life, that there are other things that can be really of value, really are of value to you in your life, and can lead to a fulfilling and complete and healthy and happy life other than just career success. But I really, really deeply had this fear of failure ingrained in me, and I was like, I can't fail, I have to be successful at this. I would spend like countless hours shooting photography, like working on my portfolio. I was really motivated, entrepreneurial. I still am, but I think that drive has shifted and changed a bit, because I am not now as intensely afraid of failure. I don't have that as much in my foreground. That is growth. Wow, go me. But if you have fear of failure, that can also lead to fear of success. And I know that sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but you would think the fear of failure would motivate you to not fail and to succeed. But when it is all consuming, that is, you're not operating from a place of balance, and you're not operating from a great mindset. So it can really contribute to the self-sabotage and to failing. Having the fear of failure and pushing yourself 24/7 for a certain goal just isn't sustainable. You're going to burn out, and when you burn out, you need to take a break. You can't be consistent. You cannot find inspiration and contribute anything towards your art. So really, the fear of failure can definitely lead to burnout, which leads to, unfortunately, failure, or needing to take a step back, needing to take a break, which is exactly what happened to me. I feel like I had been working so hard in my entire 20s and pushing myself so much, doing late nights, working really, really hard, working 7 days a week on things that were really important to me, and just not really taking care of myself, that once I got to my 30s, I was burnt out, and I needed to just like take a step back and take a bit of a break. Fear of the spotlight, fear of public scrutiny can lead to a fear of success. So there are plenty of exercises that you can do to kind of combat this and work on self-confidence, but having a fear of backlash, public scrutiny, being in the public eye, can lead to a fear of success and kind of make you more introverted and reclusive. So this really can contribute to self-sabotage and fear of failure. Fear of success can show up in your life by self-destruction. So think, staying up late, sleeping in late, drinking, not eating well, any kind of addictive habits, just really not taking care of yourself, so you're self-destructing. Also avoiding, people and communities that could contribute to your success. Perfectionism as well is a way that the fear of success can show up. Perfectionism can be just working so long on one project and trying to make it the best version it can ever be. So much so that you don't release it, you don't share it, you don't show it to anyone, and maybe you're working like years and years on one project. So you're really self-sabotaging and because of this perfectionism. Also quitting or not even starting. So I know this is one for me that I kind of get in my head sometimes, and I'm like, it's, kind of like imposter syndrome coupled with quitting and fear of failure. So I'll be like, I'm not like, who do I think I am? I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not smart enough to do this. I'm not talented enough to do this. So I don't even start. And that is really a bad habit, something that I still need to work on. And emotionally, this can feel like anxiety, guilt, discomfort, pressure. Like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself also to succeed because you fear failure, lack of motivation, just not, like I said, not starting, but just lacking motivation because you put so much pressure on yourself and you need to succeed in this. You can't even start. And it's hard to see the forest for the trees, so to speak, like what steps you need to take. You're looking at this whole big project, like I want to be like a superstar, and you can't even start on, learning to dance or going to one dance class, for example. One other thing that I didn't mention that can contribute to the fear of success is childhood experiences. So it could have been someone in your life when you were younger telling you that you weren't good enough, that you shouldn't try, that, you can't dance, you can't sing, you're not good at math, whatever it may be. And it really takes an unlearning to kind of pull that deep-rooted, incorrect philosophy about yourself out and to not take it for truth. So with all this being said, I'm not going to leave you with the problem and no solutions. So if you do have the fear of success, coupled with fear of failure, self-sabotage, self-destruction, any of these things that we talked about, what can you do to combat this and to get over your fear of success? You can self-monitor. So this means just being really aware of your thoughts and also your actions, setting a routine for yourself, setting small goals for yourself so that you can start and you can hit those small goals. It's not too intimidating for you. Once you hit one, you feel a sense of pride and accomplishment, and then you can continue on to the next goal. Starting a journal to monitor your thoughts and your actions around this is definitely going to be helpful. It will be beneficial to be able to see your patterns in thought processes and also in your actions, and you may, like I said in the beginning of this video, not realize that you are self-sabotaging and it could be subconscious. So by writing this down and journaling about your actions and your thoughts, it's really gonna help those subconscious feelings come to light. So I think each person's fear of success is a little bit different. So definitely like looking within and finding your own and doing things to combat it, to rectify it, to relearn. Also, visualizing success is really important on the path to being able to see yourself successful and look at the positive outcomes of success. Trying to focus more on the positive than you are the negative, whether that be about relationships. So instead of like, how are people going to perceive me when I'm successful and try and take advantage of me? How can I be helpful to my community and contribute to my community and be a positive influence to the people around me when I am successful? Of course, self-care is very helpful in combating like any destructive habits that you may have, getting enough sleep, meditating can be helpful, eating well, nutrition, the basic things. And I have another video about self-care as well if you want to watch that. And then finally, just be gentle with yourself. I know I have always put a lot of pressure on myself, and if you are like me in that way, then just really you need to take it easy, because Putting pressure on yourself is not necessarily going to help you get the outcome that you want. It's really coming from a place of stability, organized thought, structure, balance, being well rested, and being able to set a plan for your success and achieve goals day by day, or week by week, month by month, year by year even, not just all at once and saying this needs to happen now. It's important to set goals for yourself, but they need to be realistic. I hope this video was helpful to you in combating the fear of success and self-sabotage. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.